Guys, emergency video on BMNR. We have broken down from the level that I previously had drawn, which was this parallel channel here. You see we've broken down. I did actually buy this level when we got there initially. I thought it could be good for a bounce, but clearly price said otherwise and we just crashed straight through. So I've closed BMNR position. Does not seem wise to be in at this point in time. And in fact, I'm now rethinking the target. If anyone bought here, then you might consider staying in. You know, there's always a chance you get the recovery bounce, but it's definitely risky. And you may want to consider closing the position. Not financial advice, just keeping things real here. I actually did not expect price to get down here so quickly. There's been just such a massive sell-off on cryptocurrency. I thought, you know, you'd get here at some point and you just about touch and be able to bounce and go from there, but it looks like we're having to aim for a more pessimistic target on BMNR here. So I'm actually going to redraw the parallel in this way. So the new parallel that I'm actually looking at now is something like this, which a little bit more of a pessimistic view on Bitmine, but you can see here we are falling like a rock, and it looks like this is perhaps just a better parallel and the one I should have been following in the first place. I really did think we'd get a bounce from this particular one, but it's probably more likely now that this will be simply a point of resistance for you on the stock. I would imagine price will probably try to get back up here and it will retest, and if it cannot get above, you know, this sort of $20 level, then I think you're going to look to further downside as a possibility. Now, of course, we are very oversold, and these are typically the moments where, you know, blood is in the streets. It can be a good idea to buy, but the chart does look really ugly for me, so I can't really in good conscience advise buying here. It's pretty much catching a falling knife, and it's hard to say exactly when it will end. You know, we are breaking the levels that we thought were strong on Ethereum, and in fact we're right now going below $2,000, so that is quite a big deal, and it could mean we're speed running getting down to the 1600 sort of level, 1550. I'm not sure we'll get all the way there. That would be a massive move, although with crypto you never know. It is quite possible. Bitcoin has been going down massively. Looking at this, there is a possibility of further downside, which is why I'm not personally in a position currently with Bitmine, although, you know, the snapback on this is going to be very strong when it eventually comes, I would imagine. It's just very hard to time it, so up to you whether you're, you know, happy to take the risk in that sense. For me, I'm personally staying out of Bitmine, and the target I now have is much further down, around $10. It's crazy how quickly things can change. So yeah, a further 44% down. Now, I'm not sure you're going to get there, to be honest. I think there will be a bounce, a recovery bounce of some kind before you get to that level, but I'm just keeping you guys in the loop, and that's what I'm looking at. Of course, going down that much would correspond probably to either Bitmine's NAV premium degrading far below 1. If people get very worried about the asset treasuries, then I suppose that could happen. Alternatively, Ethereum would have to come down considerably and fall even below the 1550 target that I've had for it. So that is something to be aware of. But yeah, just gotta say it how it is. The initial target was broken. Luckily, not the biggest loss if you're able to exit here, but certainly a little bit painful, but you can't be right every time with the parallel channel. I'm not, you know, if we do get down to this, it should be a very strong level, but I'm not confident that we will get there necessarily. But regardless, thanks for watching, guys. Let's see what happens with price. Subscribe for more daily charts, of course, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.